Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. Today we are in the Shankill and we're going to have a look about the Shankill estate. Forgive the sound, guys, it's pretty windy today. Today we're going to have a wee explore and give you a bit of history around the Shankill and some of the history, some of the murals, some of the artwork. Well, going to start at the back of the Orange Hall on the Crumlin Road, which is attached to the Shankill estate. Okay, catch up with you. Okay, so it's a pretty iconic building here in Belfast, just on the outskirts of the city centre. It is the main Orange Hall for North Belfast, I do believe. It is a pretty big building. So it's attached to what used to be a place of worship for correct me if I'm wrong, Sikhs, Indians, Hindus, not entirely sure, and it's that building there with the huge spire. But they're currently doing a art expedition of Van Gogh, what way you want to say it. So we're going to take a wee walk in now. We're going to have a look about the Shankill estate here in West Belfast. Yeah, so it is West Belfast, yeah. So let's see if we can, yeah, they do. There's some bits and bobs up there as well. I'm not too sure if you can entirely see that. There's Billy. Hey, Billy there. Right there. What else have we got? Some Orange Order things, and there's a Freemason one at the end. Well, I do believe it is Freemason, Freemasonry right there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like Freemason symbols to me. And then we've got a crown on the top. I'm sure this is a new installation here. So yeah, it seems to be all the Orange Order. I'm sure the Orange Order and the Freemasons have some sort of coincidence with each other anyway. So I'm gonna get a wee walk right here, guys. So historically, the Shankill estate is notorious for a number of things. It is historically rich, which I will give you some wee insight at some point of the history. So bear with me, guys, and I'll show you about the place. Okay, so as you can see, they're redeveloping. We've got a new park and outside gym being built here, and I just want to say that the Shankill has a lot of pride and love for their heritage and their culture. So yeah, I'm gonna start down here. I'm gonna show you some of the murals and street art that there is available. So I say there's almost not a house around here that doesn't have a flag or banners or some sort of symbolization of their heritage and culture. See there in the background, right there, centre screen, got the twin spires and the Divis Tower. If you look back at one of my previous videos, I think it was the previous video, that's where we were in Divis. We'll give me a bit of a background into what it was like there and a bit of history in that. So today I want to start with this. It's called the A to Z history of the Shankill Road. So I'll try and go through them the best I can with you, and we'll start from top right or top left. And that is, not entirely too sure what that is. And then we go, it looks like a street party or something. Then we got the agreement, that must be for the Good Friday Agreement, yeah. And then we got some boxers and old street lamps, and not too sure exactly what that is. I'm not too sure. Then we got Queen Victoria. Looks like an old painter or mural painter, just an old geezer. And then we've got the Shankill Road Mission. I think that's closed down now. It was a old church. I'm not entirely sure. Then we've got a wee church here. And there's the history of the Shankill Road. We'll work our way down. And the Shankill Mirror must have their own newspaper here. We've got a picture of the mills. Another church there under L. It's actually closed down now as well. I do know that. And then we've got some old housing. Some old housing there on K. And the Crumlin Road Gallows. So the artistic house there. Don't know who these guys are at the bottom. We've got a flute band. And we've got the Pride of the West lambag drum. Then we've got a bonfire. Yeah, so apparently the Shankill has its own graveyard. I'm intrigued about that. Yeah, so there's actually some more history over here that actually explains it. Silly me, I never noticed till I went through it all. So we'll have a quick look over here. If you wanna pause this and read at your leisure of everything that was depicted on that mural there is what I'm actually interested in the most is the graveyard, the Shankill graveyard. Let's see if we can find that, because it might be a bit where is it? Oh yeah, the Shankill graveyard. Knowledge of a church on the site of the Shankill graveyard dates back to around the 5th century. That's pretty old. The graveyard was the city cemetery for at least 1685, which is the date is the oldest surviving headstone, until 1866. The graveyard still contains some mass burial plots from various plagues and epidemics that were prevalent throughout the ages. The graveyard was cleaned up in the 1950s with many of the gravestones were destroyed and lost to future generations and historians. That's actually pretty interesting. I'm going to actually have a look up on that and see whereabouts that graveyard is. That's an actual really, really old graveyard. 1685, did I say? It's crazy. Crazy to wrap my head around it like that. Yeah, so we'll go up and we'll have a wee look some more around the murals and catch up with you. Okay, ladies and gents, I've said this time and time again. The title of the series we're doing here today is UK and Ireland's Most Dangerous. But the most dangerous part comes from statistics and figures that are posted online, and it doesn't mean to say these places are dangerous or hostile or anything like that. But I do like to make out that if these places are labelled in such a way through statistics, that is why I'm here. I'm not here looking for trouble. I'm not here looking for any of that sort of thing. I'm here to show the other side of not everything that you read is true. Not everything that you hear online is true. So we have got a mural for Lieutenant Colonel, if I'm getting that right, William Buckley McHugh. He was part of the UDA. And if you look here, there's on the pillars either side of him, there is other names of what I would suspect of UDA members. So this guy lived from 1949 and 1981. I think he was assassinated by the IRA. So, yeah, there's one thing for you. So, walk down here. There's another wee mural there I'm going to see, but you be inside of the way the people live around here. It's always good to see the houses as well. So today we are on the Shankill estate. See if I can get this in shot. Without standing on poo on the grass. Won't be very nice. So this is a mural for search and rescue service. So you gotta take your hat off to these guys as well, like. And especially if your child went missing or were lost and couldn't be left to the police because they're as useful as a paper condom. So the saying goes. Lower Shankill Angels. You must have dreams and goals if you're ever going to achieve anything in this world. It's so true. It's so true. So today, guys, there's some painted curbstones here. Looks like a racetrack. Got some painted curbstones here in Hopewell Square. Yeah, so honestly, it really does look like a racetrack. It's not something you see every day, is it? Then some more. So we've got some more mural here. So Ulster young militants right there. Okay, right, so it's kind of a walk till the next place, but I'll show you again there and we'll catch up with you soon. See, I don't want to show you all like loyalist murals and things, because it's not what the community is about. I believe the community has more history to it than just loyalism and terrorism and things like that. So I would say we're pretty much in the middle of the Shankill estate now, and I do believe, looking at the history, this garden was erected because you used to have bonfires here, bonfires, whatever way you want to say it. So they erected this garden to stop the bonfires being built, because it was setting fire and melting people's houses and setting fire to the roofs and things like that there. So yeah, it's an interesting one there for you guys. So I'll catch up with you soon anyway. Yeah, I wasn't gonna get this mural in, but there's something I seen on it. Mental health, it affects us all, and it is so true. It is so true. So if just remember, guys, tomorrow's a new day, and what ways it go? You're a fighter because you've survived all your bad days. Dedicated to a mother and father of Ulster. Sorry, there's a car going past there, then I got knocked down. William Big Billy and Annie Muir. In appreciation to their dedication, loyalty, and support and friendship to all the people of the Shankill Road and their beloved Ulster. In glorious memory, yes, we forget. If anybody knows, could you comment in the comment section? That I think it's Latin. Quis separabit. I don't speak Latin. Do not have any sort of idea how to pronounce that. But if anybody knows, could you comment in the comment section? Because I've seen it an awful lot on a few murals here, and just want to know. Just want to know what it means. It's an interesting bit. Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a walk through one of the streets. I'll show you some of the things. So we are moving on to Hopewell Crescent in the Hopewell Place, and we will show you some of the houses here as well. If you like there in the background, that's Crumlin Road Courthouse, and if you're interested on what it looks like inside, we've got Mr. Baldy Audits. He's been in there. CJ Explores the UK and Ireland on YouTube. New channel, great content. Have a look on it. If you're going to watch about the Crumlin Road Courthouse, I suggest you go on to either one of them channels. Give them your support, guys. They make the time and effort to make the content for you. And there's a lot of huge urban explorers out there that do this sort of stuff and have been there. But they just don't have that sort of character or input that they give you. So I'll pick it up here soon anyway, guys, alright? Okay, ladies and gents, I'm going to end it here. The Shankill itself is a huge area to get through, and this is only one small part of a huge area. The Shankill Road is a huge road, and I'm really interested on that Shankill graveyard. Really interested, and might actually go up and visit it sometime, make an indie wee video for you. So yeah, just a wee bit of insight into what it's like here. Things like that. Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been a interesting experience. So I'm gonna get some history up for you. Give you a wee brief history. Not take too long. Don't want it to be too long. So I'll pick out some bits for you. Shankill Estate bits, not more or less the whole of the Shankill Road, but we will explore more of the Shankill at some point. So bear with me. Okay, we're going to do this here because the wind, it's pretty windy. So the Shankill Road, from Irish Shankill, meaning Old Church, is one of the main roads leading through West Belfast in Northern Ireland. It runs through the working class, predominantly loyalist area known as the Shankill. The road stretches westward for about 1.5 miles from central Belfast and is lined to an extent by shops and residents. Live in mainly streets which branch off the Shankill Road. The area along the Shankill Road forms part of the Court District electoral area. In Ulster Scots it is known either Earl Kirk Gate, which means Old Church Way, or Earl Kirk Ra, which means Old Church Road. So we'll give you some more. The first Shankill residents lived at the bottom of what is known as Glen Cairn, a small settlement of ancient people inhabited by a ring fort built where Ballygilmartin and Forth Rivers meets. A settlement around the point at which the Shankill becomes the Woodfield Road at the junction of Cambria Street was known as Shankill. It is believed to date back to 455 AD. It was known as the Church of St. Patrick of the White Fort, and in time had 6 smaller churches known as alterages attached to it across the west bank of the River Lagan. The church was an important site of pilgrimage, and it is likely that the fort of the River Farset, which later became the core of Belfast, was important because of its site of the pilgrimage route. It was in ruins by the 17th century and had disappeared entirely by the 19th, leaving only its graveyard. Wonder if that's the Shankill graveyard. Its font, an ancient bullion stone, resides at St. Matthew's on the Woodfield Road and is said to hold the power to heal warts. As a paved road, the Shankill dates back to around the 16th century, as at the time it was main part of the road to Antrim, a road now filled by the A6. The lower sections of the Shankill Road were formed times the edge of Belfast, which both Boundary Street on the lower Shankill, I think we are in Boundary Street, we're round about there anyway, and Townsend Street in the middle Shankill, taking their names from the fact that at the time they were built, they marked the approximate end of Belfast. Wow, that's interesting, never knew that now. So I wonder, like, if it was the end of Belfast, would the rest of it just been like fields and dirt roads before the rest of the Shankill was built? The area expanded greatly in the mid to late 19th century with the growth of the linen industry. Many of the streets in the Shankill, such as Leopold Street, Canberra Street and Brussels Street, were named after places and people connected with Belgium and Flanders. Where the flax from which the linen was woven was grown. The linen industry, along with the others that had previously been successful in the area, declined in the mid-20th century, leading to high unemployment levels. The Harlem Wood shipyard was also a traditional employer for the area, and it too has seen its workforce numbers decline in recent years. The area was a regular scene of rioting in the 19th century, often of a sectarian nature, after Irish Catholic areas on the Falls Road and Ardowing emerged along the city's prosperity. So if you look back at some other videos, guys, I was in Ardowing and I was in the Lower Falls, which borders these communities. One such riot occurred on the 9th of June 1886, following the defeat of the Government of Ireland Bill 1886, when a crowd of around 2,000 locals clashed with the RUC, or RIC at the time, who were attempting to stop a mob from looting a liquor store. Local law enforcement officers had to barricade themselves in Bowers Hill Barracks, where the siege followed a long siege followed. Bowers Hill was the name applied to the area of the road between Angus Street and Crimea Street. The West Belfast division of the original Ulster Volunteer Force organised on the Shankill Road and drilled into Glencairn, and some of its members saw service in the First World War with the 36th Ulster Division, a graveyard of remembrance beside the Shankill graveyard, and a mural on Conway Street commemorate those who fought the war. Recruitment was also high during the Second World War, and that conflict saw damage occur to the Shankill Road as part of the Belfast Blitz, when the Luftwaffe bomb hit shelter on Percy Street, killing many people. The site of destruction was visited by the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester soon after the attack. I'll continue. During the Troubles, the Shankill was a centre of loyalist activity. The modern Ulster Volunteer Force had its genesis on the Shankill, and its first attack occurred on the road on the 7th of May 1966, when a group of UVF men, led by Gusty Spence, petrol-bombed the Catholic Dome pub. Fire engulfed the house next door, killing 77-year-old Protestant widow Matilda Gould, who lived there. This was followed on the 27th of May by the murder of John Scullion, a Catholic, as he walked home from a pub. On the 26th of June, a Catholic civilian, Peter Ward, a native to the Republic of Ireland, was killed, and 2 others were wounded after they left a pub on the Shankill's Mervyn Street. Shortly after this attack, Spence and 3 others were arrested and later convicted. The UVF continued to be active on the Shankill throughout the Troubles, but most notorious were the Shankill Butchers, led by Lenny Murphy, and as well as the likes of William Marchant and Frankie Curry, the latter member of the Red Hand Commandos. Guys, I'm going to leave it there anyway. If you want to read up more into it, it's an interesting read. feel free to. And so if you like what you see, like, subscribe, leave a wee comment down below. Let me know if you have any other, if anybody from the Shankill is watching. What was it like living in the Shankill in those days? Leave a wee comment, let me know. If you have any like personal stories that you want to be told or want to be heard, please do. I love to hear them. So guys, until next time, have a nice night, have a nice day, or whatever time you're watching this. Good night.